I know it kind of feels like it's a political season that will never end, but we are in an election season, and tomorrow, a huge day in Georgia politics, which not everybody knows about. It is the runoff for both governor and Senate, as well as Congress right here in our area. Dr. Martin from Georgia Southern University is here once again with us to give us that idea. Let's start not with the candidates and some of the big changes that happen, but the runoff factor and how many people actually come out for this and what a big deal every vote is.
Right, so the theme for tomorrow is going to be turnout. In Georgia and everywhere else across the country, really, we know that we have low voter turnout for primaries, but when it comes to a primary runoff, that voter turnout then drops fairly significantly. So tomorrow won't necessarily be about the candidate who has the broadest appeal. It'll be the candidate who can get their base of voters back out to the polls in order to vote for them.
So we're talking 10%? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe about 10% of people coming back.
We were talking about it before. June is vacation time. It's so many things, and there are a lot of people who don't even register the fact that there is a runoff tomorrow.
That's right.
You know who does? All those people endorsing people.
That's
Because that
right.
seems to be everybody's coming out of the woodwork to endorse.
They are.
So starting that governor's race, and what
Right.
does that endorsement mean for Burt Jones right now from Governor Kemp?
Right, so Burt Jones is getting endorsements all across the board. He's getting, finally, I think it was yesterday, he got Brian Kemp's endorsement finally. He already has Donald Trump's endorsement. This is from many months ago, even before Rick Jackson got to the race. So endorsements really do matter, particularly to a base of voters who care very much about Donald Trump and his policies, and even those who were on the fence, who weren't sure, maybe they were more supporters of Brian Kemp. Now that Burt Jones has the endorsement of both of them, then that might solidify people's opinions. So those endorsements might help Burt Jones overcome the massive spending advantage that Rick Jackson has in this race.
And so interesting because Rick Jackson's been running his ads that say, oh, if you like Brian Kemp, you'll love me instead. And now Brian Kemp comes out against him.
Yes, so Brian Kemp, he's in one of those commercials where Rick Jackson is talking about him. He wants to try to align himself with Brian Kemp at this point. One of the big factors in whether he'll be able to win in November is whether he'll be able to entice those sort of moderate Republican voters. Kemp is sort of he's sort of the stalwart for that group, and so he wants to be able to show people, I do support Brian Kemp. I am very similar to him. So.
And Rick Jackson's still spending money like it's water, too.
That's right, he is.
It's crazy to see how many ads. It is a record. He just keeps on spending and will keep on spending from there. The Senate race getting more interesting again because you're looking at Mike Collins getting Donald Trump's endorsement now as well.
Right, so this is big. This is a big deal for Mike Collins. Mike Collins would seem like the winner moving forward since he got 40% of the vote originally during the primaries. And so we're looking at Mike Collins and thinking, okay, he's probably going to win. But this is really a choice between sort of a Washington, D.C. Trump-endorsed candidate and an outsider, a Brian Kemp-style institutionalist Republican. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out for voters.
Really quickly, the congressional race right here, Hallwell and Griggs, nobody's really talking that much about it. It's an important one because the Democrat really has a shot in this.
And this is actually going to be decided by Chatham County. If we look at the numbers, that's where Amanda Hollowell got most of her votes, was in Chatham County. Joyce Marie Griggs got a lot of support in Chatham County as well, but also got support in the more rural areas of the district. So what Amanda Hollowell's playbook will be tomorrow is to try to get Chatham County voters back to the polls.
Should be very interesting. We're going to run upstairs and get a lot deeper on all these elections in our political podcast, which will be up on WSAV Plus so soon. Dr. Martin, thank you so much. I'll see you again in about 10 minutes.
Sounds great. Thanks.